Hello, 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 everybody. And I hope you had a wonderful day with your family and your friends. And as you prepare to, go to work tomorrow or, on a couple of days from now, whenever it may be. I'm Gertrude Chapman, founder of the Aspiring Authors Lab. And this is a place where I teach aspiring authors who are struggling with self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth issues how to write books, leveraging their knowledge, transforming lives. Can't forget about that, transforming lives, and also to make an income, that will provide for you and your family. Now, earlier today, I talked about being intentional. This is your year to be intentional. And be intentional about writing your book, because this is something that you may have been putting off, for a year or two, or maybe 5, 10 years. And I even know somebody's put it that way, have had a book that they wanted to write for 20 plus years, 20 plus years. And, I hope that's not you, but, there are many people out there that, they procrastinate about writing their books, But remember to make this a year, an intentional year where you'll sit down and get that book written. Now, earlier today, I asked you about if you had an opportunity today at some time, whatever time it may have been, to create a plan for yourself. Not only, for the year, but now just start with this month, okay? If you haven't started it, for this year, just start with this month. And I want to tell you the reason why. Now, you know that no job is secure, especially in this robotic area. You have seen people, who have lost their jobs. And no matter what, it doesn't say, it doesn't happen when you're prepared. It always happens when, it's like right now, okay? You're not prepared for it. It just happens. And I'll tell you a story, a little later about that. And it doesn't matter because you still have bills to pay, And have you ever thought if your job was suddenly replaced, with robots? Have you ever thought about that? Layoffs don't stop your bills from being due. Let me tell you what happened to me in October 2005, okay? 2005, this happened to me. Some of you may have heard my story about it, how I was laid off twice back to back, and how this set me on an emotional roller coaster. It was something that was devastating to me, through no fault of my own. Sometimes you can't even see your way, so you stop trying. And Lord knows, this was a very difficult time for me. I wanted to give up. But deep down inside, I kept fighting and seeking an answer. Have you ever pictured what would happen if you gave up a fight? What will happen to you? What would happen to your family? I found myself, even at this time, going through a deep depression because I couldn't fulfill my obligation. Now I'm telling you, I was making good money in the housing industry. And suddenly the bottom fell out. It just fell right out from under me. And not being able to get a job and having to go on unemployment, as I was constantly sending out resumes. I used to send out resumes in the morning, and in the afternoon I would cry all day because I thought that, with my experience and my education, you see, it doesn't matter about experience and education when you're in a crisis. I thought I would get an answer. But since I didn't get an answer, no callbacks, no emails, not anything, okay? I found myself crying all afternoon. I'm telling you, it was really a depressing time because, I have standards and, I always paid my bills on time. And it was just something that was very devastating for me. Then Just before the unemployment ran out, an employment agency, they found me a job. I worked there 7 months. There was a bank merger. That location closed, laid off again. I couldn't go through that again. So was I going to sit there and die? Sometimes you can't see your way out, so you stop trying. Lord knows, I'm telling you, I wanted to give up, but I had to continue to find the solution to my situation. Now, so what I did, I created lemonade out of the sour lemons that I was given. I didn't give up. Lord knows it was a try. It was a very hard time for me because those layoffs happened back to back. And I had to make a decision because I had bills to pay. I didn't understand at that time my self-worth or my value or whatever you want to call it. All I knew was that I had to take control of this situation. I was drowning fast and I had to make a decision to change. Have you ever been in a place where you have no other choice but choosing a plan for your future? A right now thing? You have no time to think about it because the clock is ticking. And on top of all that, you may be struggling with self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth issues that make it trying. It's a do or die moment. But I want to encourage you today. This is your year of change. It's not only a new year, but it's also a new decade, a start of a new decade. This is your turning point. And it can be a very the most important decision that you'll ever make. Because sometimes what happens, people find themselves stuck in certain jobs and situations. And they remain there because they cannot envision themselves doing better or even having better. Because that's a mindset. And it's not your fault. It's really not your fault. You don't know what you don't know. And maybe this is you. But I want to encourage you that there is increase all around you. But you cannot see yourself stepping out in faith because of depression, stress. It could be, like I said, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth issues. And that all adds to, your thinking and the challenges, other challenges that you may be going through. People are out there struggling because they fail to write their books, because they assume that there's no room for them in the marketplace, because other people have already written on that same subject. And I'm going to tell you, that's far from the truth. There are people out there waiting to purchase your book and to purchase your book now. They're looking for your knowledge and for your expertise. And I'm going to tell you, it's better to be proactive because we are in an age of robotics. What would happen if that happened to you and you didn't have a plan? Think about it. What would happen? I want to encourage you to write your book. That book that you have been thinking about, be intentional, okay? Plan it. Be intentional this year because it will make a big difference in your life. It will position you and your family to be in a better place by the end of this year. And I have a tool that can help you see your benefits. All of these questions that you may be having about how to write a book and, what should I be thinking? And all of these questions that may be boggling your mind at the moment, they can be answered in this new ebook that I have written. And it's entitled, You Are Brilliance. And this ebook, it will solve the problems of getting you unstuck from situations and missing money. It's full of brilliant strategies that you can follow to boost your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your self-worth to provide for you and your family. One of the benefits that I want to point out you will experience how to recognize your topics and how to tell your story to transform lives. You will walk away with confidence knowing that people are waiting to purchase your book and waiting to purchase your book now. As you discover those awe-inspiring success formula, put it that way, to make money when you're facing a financial crisis. I'm telling you, I had written before. I had, written even a couple of plays. Okay. I had written workbooks and training manuals and all of those things before my dilemma. But I never considered it as something that, I could make money from. I always considered it a hobby. Okay. But when this financial crisis hit me, I had to, really search myself and see what did I have that, I could, promote and create to keep me from falling back and being laid off again. Because I told you, it happened to be back to back. And who's to say that it wouldn't happen again? And I was tired of that roller coaster, that depression, emotional roller coaster. And I know some of you may be thinking the same thing. I'm tired of this. I want to change in my life. So I want you to be proactive. Plan. Have a plan in place. Just in case, you are downsized or you find yourself suddenly laid off. You have to have a plan because your bills do not stop from being due. Okay? So you could access this ebook by going to bit.ly/how to recover from financial crisis. And the name of the book is You Are Brilliant, because you are brilliant. You are a brilliant individual who has much to offer to this generation. Okay? So I thank you for joining me on this beautiful day, this beautiful evening. And this is Gertrude J. Chapman, inspirational book coach and the founder of the Aspiring Authors Lab. And I want you to remember, this is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of the evening.